Hey folks, welcome back to the Portable Gamer. Welcome back to Cattle and Crops Early Access. This is going to be episode 3, and we're just working our way through the missions, getting to know the game. This is the most time that I've spent with it. I did play the tech demo, and I guess what would be the beta. I did play that a bit, but it was beta. It was we were testing it for the developers, so it wasn't always the kind of gameplay that you can really get into and immerse yourself in and have a good time with. This, I have to say, the early access is not the case. And I realized yesterday, as we were wrapping up, and here we are exactly where we were yesterday. I think, so it's 8 p.m. I think we can go to sleep. Is that going to be our thing? Oh, see, now we look like we're creeping on our own house. Okay. Who sleeps for 10 hours? What time is it? It's 8 p.m. I guess it's about right. Right. Crack of dawn. How do we get in here? There it is. Oh, that's a bit tedious. That could use a little work. Okay. So yesterday we did not put this tractor away, but I'm going to, let's see what our next mission is, and perhaps we'll need it. So, to strike a bargain. To strike a bargain, hammer maize seed. For the maize seed, the cooperative supplies us with the new Hammer Corn King. With a working width of 6 meters, we can till our fields with high power. We're going to use the 530 for this. And we've got a seeder, and this looks like maybe a cultivator, so we can go direct drill. We'll see. We do accept. Now I'm going to put the, okay, that was interesting. I guess I didn't need to sleep before I accepted that mission. So, get started up here. And we know I'm not going to call it a bug, but we know the way to reset the front weight. Let's get this parked up. Oh, must have been a late night yesterday. We left the plow on there as well. All right. Trigger box there. Nope. I am I am repeatedly picking up and dropping the front weight. Live and learn, folks, live and learn. So then I will drop the back as I thought, and I need to go to this panel here. Okay. That's not, it's not the most intuitive interface, but I think once you get used to it, and once you can get things hot mapped, or hot mapped, that's a thing, isn't it? That may or may not be a term. I may have just made that up, but you can do all your hot mapping. Drive to the farm cooperative. You got it. I think once you get some of these functions set to hotkeys, that may be a little bit more intuitive. And I'm learning the slot system. And the slot system is, well, here we can do one right here. So if we go to 4x4, right? And we pull it down to slot 4. Now we just press our 4 key, and that's how we turn the 4-wheel drive on and off. I don't see ignition up here. There may already be a hotkey for ignition. Brake off, parking brake off. Here we go, we're going to the cooperative. This is, what, I think the third or fourth time I've missed this turn. Also, this will be my third video of the day, and I may lose my voice before we're done. We'll see. We don't seem to be using fuel. That was a question that I had yesterday. I don't know if fuel usage is a part of the game right now, or if it's going to be added later, or if it's never going to be added, but it doesn't look at the moment like we need to buy fuel ever, or add fuel if we own our own in the tank at the farm. But I don't see any need to add fuel so far. Now, for those slots down at the bottom, off camera, I did go in and essentially you can, in the controller setup, you can control those slots with any of your devices. So what I did was mapped, I believe it's slots 7, 8, and 9. When you hook up the front loader automatically goes to slots 7, 8, and 9. And then I configured my joystick to correspond to the 3-axis for the shoulder up and down, the elbow up and down, and the buck rake to open and close. Or I guess the elbow, the wrist, and the buck rake to access X, Y, and Z. So when and if we get to the mission where we use the front loader, I will be able to control that with a joystick, which I'm pretty pleased about. I think, now when we pick up this Corn King, we'll have to see. I don't think we'll ever have more than one implement. Well, we won't, there's no way to have more than one implement on the back of the tractor at any one time. So if the Corn King, let me see if I can say this in a way that it even makes sense to myself. If the control options for the Corn King can be dropped down to the hot slots on the bottom, let's say to slots 5, 6, and 7, I'm curious if when we put another implement on the back, slots 5, 6, and 7 will still be essentially empty because we're not hooked up to the Corn King. Did that make any sense at all? I think it did. If there's a way to do that, then we can use the same key or the same key command to control different functions on different pieces of equipment. So in other words, what the key combo that for one piece of equipment may be lower, for another piece of equipment, it may make more sense for that same key combo to make that piece of equipment raise. So if we can do that, well, I guess we'll find out soon. But if we can do that, then kudos to the developers. The control system, I personally found it to be very challenging. As I'm exploring it now, I think it's just really, really different than what we're used to. And I think that has to cut both ways for the developers. And from the very beginning of the first episode of this Let's Play, one of the first things that I said was comparisons to Farm Simulator 2017 are inevitable, and they are. So that's something that the developers have to deal with, the developers of Cattle and Crops. That's something that they have to deal with, and that's not, sort of not fair, but it is to be expected. So it could be, I guess what I'm getting at is, it could be that their control system, I mean, I've been gaming for a long time, and I found their control system to be, like I said, pretty challenging, pretty clunky. I don't think it is entirely that I was used to FS17. However, I will admit that was a part of it. And kudos to the developers of Cattle and Crops for not making everything identical to Farming Simulator 17. What sense would that make? You know, they're making their own sim. They're not making somebody else's. Right. Get back up here. Attach the seating unit. Buy the maize kernel. All right. Okay. So, all right, now I'm seeing already slot 3. Put the brake on here. I'm seeing slot 3. Easy. So what is this? Toggle ridge markers. Toggle ridge markers. Okay. Now this is, let me, can I get a highlight here? This looks like the landing gear. So I get, if I hover over the support foot, I get the support foot. If I hover over this, which looks like a ridge marker, looks the same as this one. You know what? We'll fill up, and we'll get out of the parking lot. We'll get to a place where we have some room, and we'll see what these different commands do. Because as I'm looking now, right, this is what I was just talking about down here. I put the 4-wheel drive in slot 4. I don't know if it wants something else in slot 4 for the Corn King, and I've accidentally taken up a slot that it normally uses. Well, let's just do this. Okay. We're learning today. So that means this can go, come here. This can go in slot 10. This can go in slot 10. As far as I know, there's nothing in there. And how do we get out of here? Don't tail whip the loading dock. So now, okay, we'll go in cab. Yeah, I will admit, I tried the early access out of the box. I was not impressed, and I'm glad I gave it another chance. The more time that I spend with this game, the more that it is growing on me, and it's really growing on me. I'm happy to be wrong about this, and I'm especially happy to be wrong about it because I've invested at the gold level, which means I own the game and all the DLC for I think 4 years. So it would be a shame to own a game and own all the DLC releases. Who knows how many there are going to be? But to own all that DLC and not like it enough to play it. So I am more than willing to admit when I'm wrong, and my first impressions of this game were not correct. It really is growing on me. Maybe I just needed to be in the right headspace, as the kids say. Right. So we'll run a stop sign. We'll get to a good place up here where there's some room. We'll probably get to field 48 will be the best place to try it. And we'll see what's up with these ridge markers. It looks like slot 3 extends them maybe, and slot 4, hard to say. Was I? Now, as I'm looking at my map here, it's telling me to take a right. I mean, I'm happy to take a right. I think we're local farmers. Wow, that is really loud outside now. We can drive in the grass if we need to. Right. So we're going to extrude the cedar. I got to figure out these ridge markers first. So slot 3 test extends the ridge marker. Slot 3 extends and retracts the ridge marker. So then I guess slot 4 will swap from, right now we have the right ridge marker out. Nothing happens. Ah, it does. Okay. You got it. Lower the implement. Now, it says lower the implement. I've never felt good about that, but we can turn our four-wheel drive on and off on the fly now, so that's a cool thing. Parking brake is off. Now, it says lower the implement, but I don't know how I feel about lowering the old Corn King there before we're into the field. I have a feeling it's not going to allow me to get to the next place. Okay. Well, that's not very nice. You tell me to lower the implement. I do, and then you give me a little grief. Okay. And I don't know if we need to turn the implement on. And I also want to check this out too. Okay, that is that. And that's something else. Okay. So we want that. And then we want this. Is that right? Okay. And I don't know if we need to lower that ridge marker or if it's already down. Nope, it's down. Okay, here we go. And we are using seed. Okay, I just saw it drop, so I didn't know if we needed to activate something as well or if just lowering it turns it on as well, and it seems that it does. So we are going through our seed. Our ridge marker is working. I don't know how I feel about it. We're on what I would call the GPS track, and it seems to be we've got a bit of overlap, and we got some trees to deal with. Try to do this in cab. I've just been in an in-cab kind of mood lately. Let me look on this side. Lift it up. Seed field 48, 70. Seed field 48 to 70%. How are we looking on these trees? Huh. Okay. All right. As good as all the other textures are in this game, this ridge marker texture I think could have been done a little better. I don't know, that seems a bit excessive, a bit wide. But again, early access. And I also keep looking to see, are we getting any mud yet? Not that I can tell. All right, I think we're doing it. Now this isn't nearly as hard as the plowing was yesterday. Plowing was pretty difficult. Well, no, I don't want to say difficult. That's too strong a word for it. It was challenging. It was not a no-brainer. I had to think about what I was doing. It's not as hard as that, but it is definitely, it's holding my attention. It's not like doing nothing. Okay, now these trees here, you know what, I think I'm going to try something here. First I'm going to swap my ridge markers. Then for the moment, I'm going to put them away. No. I want to put them away. There we are. And then I'm going to drive around this tree on the left here. And then I'm going to put my ridge marker back out. I don't know if that was the best way to handle that. Is that right? Yeah, I don't know if that was the best way to handle that, but it's too late now. Put that down. Yeah. Didn't work the way I thought it would, but it was a noble idea. It's a fantastic idea. Just didn't pan out. Damn you, physics. Now I'm guessing I don't see a combine harvester available anywhere. So I don't think we're doing cereal crops yet. I think we're only doing silage. I do see a forage harvester. So with us planting corn right now, what have we done so far? We sprayed slurry, we cultivated, we plowed, and right now we're drilling corn. So I'm guessing the next thing will be to maybe spray this with fertilizer. I think that's also a piece of equipment that's available. Controls are still very sensitive. All right, drop that. Controls are still very sensitive, but that's not, I mean, that to me is a question of adjustment. Perhaps the game reads them with greater sensitivity than other sims, other games, but it's just a question of going into the settings and dialing the sensitivity back. And I need to keep dialing it further and further back every time I think it can't possibly need to go any less sensitive than that. Maybe it does. So we'll keep working on that. That's not the end of the world. What else? Let's do some external for a while. Up and flip the ridge markers. Let me see if I can have any better luck with this. Yeah, that's what I was looking to do. Well, I do notice we seem to be getting a bit of a curve, and we're just going to need to ride it out, I think. It's not terrible, but we're going to need to ride it out. I think that happened, yep, when we came in from, when I tried to loop around that tree and came in at an angle. That's how we got off track here. Not the end of the world. And it is loud outside. As with was it the plow or the cultivator? Bouncing back and forth between 5th and 6th gear. There's a tree right there. Try to make my turn here. Yep. Nope. Kind of bumped into ourselves there. Okay, got the ridge marker on the right side. Drop the tool. Here we go. This feels, I have to say, much more, well, real than other farming simulators. It feels like I'm really, maybe not really doing something, but it definitely feels more ground level. This does not feel sandbox at all. This feels very, very much like a simulator. I am going to try to straighten this curve out right here, and I think I would be just causing problems if I did this in real life, but I've been known to cause problems. Right. Oh, easy. Steady, lad. Okay. That goes there, and now I have to go around this tree. And the placement of these trees makes me wonder if we're not, maybe not supposed to go around them, but they seem like they've clearly been placed here as obstacles. Bridge markers on the right side. Drop the tool. There we go. I think if I had some of these things mapped to my gamepad, I would be able to do this stuff on the fly rather than starting and stopping. But I'm not terribly worried about it. I'm still learning this game. I've got a total of, as of right now, I've got a total of probably 5 or 6 hours that I've played it, and playing it the way we are right now, seriously playing it and trying to learn the game since I started the Let's Play. So maybe 2.5 hours, 2 hours, 45 minutes. So I really don't have a lot of time on this game, and I feel like I'm really learning things every time I fire it up. All right, so we've got a little bit more room here to turn around. No, well, less trees. Trees are to our left rather than in front of us. So we got some maneuvering room. I'll fire that up. Move that over. All right. I feel like that warning we get, you can't work on this field. I understand that it's telling us you're outside the field boundaries, but I'm curious for a tool like this combo that we're running right now. I feel like we would either need to either leave a bigger gap as we're seeding, leave a headland essentially, and then cut in a headland afterwards, or leave some unseeded area at the edges of the field. And I'm not, another tree to go around here. Let's jump outside for a minute. It's going to be loud. All right. And then here, and then here. Okay. So I guess I'm wondering what an acceptable gap would be to leave around the edge of the field so that we don't see that warning that we're not to work in the grass. I'm having a hard time telling the difference between the plowed field texture and the cultivated field texture. And I think that's what I was getting at in one of the other episodes. I said I would like to see furrows after plowing. To really mark a difference between a plowed field and a cultivated field. So what I'm saying is I don't know right now whether we are, I don't know right now whether we are I think the front half of that implement is cultivating this field and then the back half is seeding it. Maybe. I don't know. And what I'm getting at is I don't know if this field is plowed or cultivated. I'll need to learn the textures a little bit better or see if there is a map to indicate, a color code on the map to indicate the status of different fields. We are making progress here. Flip that over. And for now, let's put those away. Oh, that's right. Can't do the 360 neck. Okay. Said you can't do the 360 neck, and then I, of course, try to do it again. So now, right, okay. And I believe on the cultivating and on the plowing, when we hit our goal for the mission, it finished the rest of the field, or it did not. So, in other words, if we were plowing and when we hit 80% or whatever it was that we were required to get to, did it then essentially convert the rest of the field to plowed? I don't remember. So I'm curious, when we hit our goal here, is it going to then tell us we can continue and finish the field, or is it going to finish it for us? It's going to finish it for us, but now I need to put that away. I suspect that this is only in the missions because it's really really difficult on my OCD to drive across a field that we just seeded. Okay, back in cab, quiet things down, and we're going to drive to Now, again, this says we're on a road, but I don't see it. Okay, we're going to drive to field 13. If field 13 is more seating, I'm going to call it an episode right there. We don't need to. We've seen drilling. I think we get it. So I wouldn't ask you to sit through another one. I'll go ahead and finish that off camera, and when we pick up next time, hopefully we'll have a new mission with a new implement and a new activity. So let's get down to field 13 and just confirm that we're not doing anything different. This map is also a little bigger than I thought, and what's a good word for it? It seems organic, maybe? It doesn't seem cluttered. It doesn't seem like things are just not there for the sake of being there. How am I trying to describe it? It doesn't seem like a play area. It seems like an open world that happens to have farmer fields in it. Drive to field 13, right? And there it is. Seed field 13. Okay. Folks, I'm going to call it an episode right there. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thank you for checking out The Portable Gamer. We'll see you again next time. Take care now.